and answers now. If you want to ask a question, raise your hand in the webinar as usual, and then wait to be called. It's in English and French. You can choose which language you want to receive a translation in. So without further ado, let's go to some questions. And I think we've already had a few people ask to raise their hands already. So Carlos Groman, good to speak to you again. Your question from Reuters, please.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Hi, Carlos. We can hear you.
Hi.
And see
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time today. A question for you and maybe a question for Christoph, if I may. A question for you. After hearing the report on Milano-Cortina, what is your take for the last stretch of the preparation? And was there any discussion regarding the ice hockey, the size of the ice hockey rink? It's a discussion that's been going on for the past few days now, given the importance that NHL players play at the Winter Olympics. And the question for Christoph, if I may, is there a latest breakdown for the tickets for Milano-Cortina sold, still available, when on sale, and so on? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Carlos. So our discussions, and I think really the focus is just how we as the IOC can continue to support the OCOG and Italy in these last few crucial days. As I said, we're 58 days, I think 58, 53 days away. So just around the corner. As we said, it's the opening ceremony is the start. But that doesn't mean that that's when our work finishes. We need to push through and continue till the very last moment, and we're going to continue to work very closely with the OCOG as we move forward. But we're very impressed, very happy with everything that we're seeing and that we're hearing. And as all of you know, as we get closer, we just need to keep our finger on the pulse. In terms of the ice hockey rink, we did not discuss it in large during the executive board, but I can pass the floor to our sports director because we have had conversations offline, and he can give us a little bit of an update. And as you said, ice hockey, very important for us. So it has been a focus from us, but not something we discussed today during the MICO presentation.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, indeed, this topic has been on the table, not in the executive board, but between the NHL, the NHLPA, the IHF, MICO, and the IOC. And I think you've seen the statement that was released yesterday, I believe, that confirms that everybody is now aligned, that the ice rink measurements is exactly what it should be, and that we can compete at the highest level on this ice rink. So I would refer you to the statement that I think has been used by IHF, by Milano-Cortina, that confirms we are now very clear regarding the measurements of the ice rink and can look forward to exciting competitions in 2026. Thanks,
Pierre. And Christoph?
Yes, President and Pierre. By the way, here's one sport that has very strong sales. So, Carlos, if we look at the global picture, we can be super happy. We're close to 70% at this stage. So we're going strong, and President, can I refer back to your statement regarding the breathtaking imagery? When you see the crowds at Duomo, when we had the torch relay, when you see the torch relay going around, we always know that is the kickoff of the last stretch for the Olympic Games ticketing, and no doubt we'll have maximum capacities and big crowds in all the venues. Now, Carlos, can I be open as well with respect to where there is still an effort to make? And this is on the Paralympics. We know it's always a little harder to kick off the campaign, and there we're trailing back. We hope that with the torch relay, where we speak always about the Olympic and Paralympic Games, this will help. And obviously, we know as well that between the two events, there is always a huge volume of sales. So all in all, very happy with where we stand, going strong, very encouraging, and some more efforts to make on the Paralympic side. But all in all, we're very excited. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Carlos. We're going to go to Joe Donahue now. Joe Donahue from Bird's Media. Joe,
Yes.
your
Yes. Thank
question.
You, Mark.
Yeah, we see you. Ask away.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah. And President, good to see you again. And Pierre, welcome to this party. President, you said that you were at a this was your first time at the Olympic torch relay, the lighting of the flame, and you said that you were very emotional about it. What particularly stood out to you about that particular ceremony? And then probably a question to Pierre. Pierre, looking ahead to the 2028 games in flag football, the NFL approved a resolution earlier this year to enable professional NFL players to try for Olympic flag football teams. And one of the concerns in America is the injury risk, especially given the proximity to the NFL season in 2028. So maybe broadly speaking here, how does the IOC help ensure that athletes' injury risk is limited?
Thanks, Joe, and nice to see you too. And yes, welcome to the party, Pierre. I like that one. No, do you know what? It was really, it was just an incredible moment, I think, to be standing, you know, sadly the weather was not great, so we had to take some of the part of the ceremony inside into the museum, and it's exactly where we were in March when we met with the president of Greece back at the beginning of the year. And you know, at that point the campaign was still ongoing, and now to be standing back in that same room in the exact spot where I had met the president of Greece, to now be standing there as president of the IOC. And you know, the earlier on in the day, I'd had the wonderful memories been brought back to me about Athens 2004, and the team had surprised me with showing me my event on the screen at the Olympic Academy. And so it was just a wonderful day. And so by the time we got to the event where we saw the witnessing of the flame, it was just really showed the importance of the event. And it was all of those memories and all those incredible emotions sort of all came back at once. And it was a very special moment, and something I will never forget. But it was also, I think, the realization of just how important our movement is and how special it is, and the responsibility that we need together to protect it, and to work hard to ensure other athletes have the opportunity to enjoy it. So all of those things wrapped up into one. And I will now pass the party over to Pierre.
Thank you very much, Joe, for the kind welcome. So I would say injury prevention, is obviously a core focus for us, whatever is the sport. So it applies to sports where you have professional leagues or not. So we work very extensively with the OCOG, with the International Federation, to make sure that all the measures are being taken to ensure the security and the safety of the athletes. So there will be no exceptions for flag football. You mentioned the decision of the NHL. Obviously, they had the opportunity with the owners, with the teams, to make that decision to authorize some of the NHL players to play. We are very happy about that. It will be an exciting competition. When it comes to injury prevention, again, it's something that is at the core of our preparation, and we will do exactly the same for flag football.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, we're going to go to Robert Livingston, I presume, now. Gamesbids.com. Robert?
Thank you, Mark.
There.
Thanks, Mark, and thank you, President, for the availability. I want to ask about the esports games. So can you give us more details on why plans with Saudi Arabia were canceled, and what the next steps for the esports games are? And if possible, can you give us an update on the Summer Games bid process?
Hi, thank you. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for the questions. Let me start with the second one. On the Summer Games, we have our Future Host Commission, who are obviously looking into the process, and they're working hard at really speaking to our stakeholders right now, and to the former OCOGs and interested parties on where they would want to see the process potentially improved and what that could look like. So they're working hard at that. I don't have anything formal to present, but I'm sure in the next couple of months we will, and we want to have some good clarity on that. And throughout the campaign, we also heard from the IOC members that they want to be involved in that process. So we're trying to listen to the stakeholders, and that working group under the leadership and chairmanship of Kalinda are working hard on doing that now and doing all of that work. So that's where we are with that. In terms of esports, part of the Fit for the Future is the pause and reflect, and we just really want to be able to be very clear as the Olympic movement, as the IOC, what we expect, what we want, and where do we want to go with esports. And it was just the right time for all of us to really reevaluate all of those steps, and that's what we're doing internally now. Hopefully, again, in the next couple of months, I'll have a little bit more update for you. We're going to put together a little team and have some experts from outside that really know the business come in and really make sure that we're in line with not just where we would like to get to, but where the market and especially where the industry is going. And we are looking forward to that in the next few months.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go to Japan. Now we're going to go to Wakako Yuki. Wakako from Yomiuri Shimbun.
Good evening or early morning from me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Hello, President. Thank you for the opportunity. During your speech at the UN Assembly, you've stressed once again the importance of ensuring athletes' entry visas without being hampered by political will. Do you think IOC-EB's earlier sanction to Indonesia was enough, or would you see the needs of some kind of framework to ensure such things would not happen in the future, such as contract, perhaps in a time frame? And also, if I may, protection of female category question. In my humble view, I think the difficulty of discussion is perhaps eventually you have to limit the needs or human rights even of certain individual, or so that you can ensure the fairness of competition. What is your view on this very point? Thank you.
Thank you, and it's always good to see you. And firstly, on your first question, as you know, we have a working group that just recently got set up. I think our most recent working group on the protection of Olympism, and again focusing on political neutrality. We had a very quick update from that working group. And they have just started, so they were just sharing with us their idea of a working stream and where they'd like to start. The EB fully supported that. They're going to start by reviewing what we all have, so our Olympic charter, and be able to do some work on that. And in the next couple of weeks, they'll be holding a few meetings. So in the new year, I'm sure we'll be able to come back to you guys with some more firm, concrete ideas of where they see themselves going. But I do want to allow for them to have some time, since they just got put together on that one. But it will be a huge focus for them. On your second question on the female category, as you know, we've again got the working group, and they're working very well with all of the stakeholders. And you know, this is a question that they are asking themselves, and we're asking ourselves, and we're going to find ways of trying to find a consensus that has all aspects covered. And maybe not going to be the easiest thing to do, but we are going to try our best to ensure that when we are talking about the female category, we are protecting the female category, and we're doing that in the most fair way, and in finding a consensus for everybody to be able to at least believe in and get behind in.
Thank you. Thanks, Wakako. Good to see you. Let's move to Rachel Axon. Yeah, hello, Rachel, Sports Business Journal. please, your question.
Yes, thank you for taking the time. Two very different questions for different folks. First off, for Christoph, I know you touched on the hockey arena. I'm curious how there came to be any dispute, if there was an agreed upon size, and now we get to the finished product that looks different, and the role in the coordination commission in that. And then for Kirsty, it was reported or released in a recent earnings call that On Location had actually lost money on hospitality for the Paris Olympics. How would you assess that partnership, now going into a second games, and the viability of the model that you have, if that's I guess, a money losing proposition, at least one game's in?
So I think, Rachel, your first one, I think maybe, is it back to the ice hockey? We can give that to Pierre or to Christoph. I wasn't too, I think maybe.
I thought Christoph, but either.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll pass that on. I have, over the last few months, met with all of our partners, including On Location. And we most recently had some of the team here in the last few weeks, figuring out how we're going to move forward and what that's going to look like. And I think we're all very, very excited about our potential future in increasing different opportunities to them and to us. And that's really what we're focusing on. Here?
Okay. Christoph, maybe you can complement if I forget anything, but on ice hockey one, I think I responded earlier regarding the size of the ice, which has been confirmed now. There is no discussion anymore between the IHF, the OCOG, and the NHL and the NHLPA. When it comes to the venue itself, I think we have communicated as well that we had to replan the test event. It was initially planned to happen this week. It is now happening in Ice Hockey 2, where we have an international junior competition happening right now from the IHF successfully. And the decision has been made to test the Ice Hockey 1 on the 9, 10, and 11 of January. So we're still having a test event that will replicate the conditions of the games, which is 3 matches per day, so that we really put the ice under the right level of test. But it's just been delayed a couple of weeks so that we can have all the circumstances to test the venue, but also to have spectators in the venue so that we can really replicate as close as possible the circumstances we would have during the games. And this has been done in agreement between us, the International Federation, and the organizing committee. But please, Christoph, if you want to add anything.
Pierre, you've been very complete, but Rachel reporting live from Milano. Very happy with the test events, the way it is going on Ice Hockey 2. By the way, you saw the oval as well that was tested, and as you said, Pierre, it's a first for a temporary ice of that size, and it worked well. So it bodes extremely well for what is coming just before the test event, which is the production of the ice in MH1, Santa Giulia. This is what we're going to follow very closely. This is towards the end of the year. The equipment is being installed, but from a coordination commission standpoint, we feel very confident because of what we have seen now with Ice Hockey 2 and the oval. And also because the issue of size has been successfully resolved. So very, very happy with where we stand at present. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Thanks, everyone else. Let's go to our regular journalist from Ukraine, Konstantin Vavrek. Are you there, Konstantin? Hello.
Yes, I hope you can see me because I'm only on a battery lamp. I have no electricity at home, and it's one of the realities we live here in Ukraine right now. My question, unfortunately, is still about Russian athletes, etc., etc. As we know, Paris 2024 went off without any Russian provocations, thanks to the proper work of the individual neutral athletes. The eligibility panel, unfortunately, we see that so far 3 of the 3 participants of 2026 Olympics recognized as neutral do not actually meet the criteria, and they violate them. 2 of them support them more or less openly. I know that you can't comment on individual cases, but generally, have you considered mechanisms for reviewing the decisions of this panel? And perhaps it would be worth involving representatives of Ukraine in the evidence gathering process. I understand that it's kind of relations between you and Russian athletes, but Ultimately, it's not IOC who suffers from the incorrect decision, but Ukrainian athletes who will have to live and compete during the Olympics alongside people who wish them, to see them dead. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. I think I got most of your maybe question, more of a comment. I don't know if there was a question in there.
The core question is, have you considered mechanisms for reviewing the panel decision, and whether it would be worth to involve representatives of Ukraine in that decision making?
So I think, as you said at the beginning, the process that we used for Paris was successful, and this is the exact same process that we're using now. So we obviously, if you have, please, new information, please, you can always send it to us. I have James McLeod here that we can review, but the ANERP and our working group are the final decision makers in this process. And we're really looking forward to seeing a strong Ukrainian team.
I have sent already information, actually. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Konstantin. Okay, let's go to the other side of the world. Let's go to the States now, to Salt Lake City. Lisa Roche, Deseret News. Are you there, Lisa?
I am. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. President, I'm wondering what you think of the rebranding of the Salt Lake City, Utah Olympics for 2034. When the IOC awarded the games, they were to Salt Lake City, Utah, and now organizers are calling these the Utah 2034 games. It's the first time, I believe, a state in the United States has been designated a host. Is that something that an organizing committee has the ability to do, to change the name of the games, or does the IOC still see these as the Salt Lake City, Utah games? And how that fits into your Fit for the Future effort to look at different ways of hosting in the future. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you, Lisa. So we have a couple of other examples. If you look at Gang 1, if you look at French Alps, all very similar to how the situation that you've just described. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, what we're looking for, especially with the Fit for the Future, and when it comes to the partnerships with the organizing committees, is really to figure out and look at all possibilities and analyze which is going to be the most successful possibility for them and for us. And I think right now the conversations are going really well, and I'm very supportive of the decisions that have been made to date.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good to see you again. Let's go to, not so far, to Graham Dunbar, who I think will be in Geneva for Associated Press. Graham, your question, please. Yeah, no? I think I heard you, Graham. Just say...
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Please go ahead.
I was expecting a panel to come up to allow me in. Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks to everyone on the panel. Yeah, not very far away in Geneva. Always happy to pop along to Lausanne when invited for press conferences as well. President, I just returned to the subject of the protecting the female athlete. Since the last EB, there was a sort of update and a briefing to the members. I'm just wondering if there's a timetable you can see for when there might be a decision from the IOC on this really will resonate around the world at all levels of sport. In terms of grassroots sport, when the IOC is very supportive of UN Sustainable Development Goals and the idea of access to sport being a human right, what would be your hope and expectation for the future for transgender athletes, just at the very basic community sports level, and their ability to be welcomed and participate, competing at that level?
Hi, Graham, and you're always welcome. I promise. Doors are always open. So Graham, I think firstly on the timeline, you know, we want to make sure that we can try and ensure that we've spoken to all stakeholders. And that we've really taken adequate time to cross the T's and dot the I's. And so, you know, the group is working extremely well. We had, as I said in my introduction, we had a short briefing from all the working groups. And, you know, I don't want to try and constrain, maybe is that right word, the working group by saying they need to have a specific deadline. But I'm really hopeful in the next couple of months and definitely within the first quarter of next year that we will have a very clear decision and way forward, which I think we're all looking forward to. In terms of grassroots, you know, Graham, I think we've always been so clear on this, that sport is at grassroots levels and in any form of recreation is for everybody, and sport you should have access for everybody to partake, and that stance is never going to change.
Thank you very much, Graham. Okay, we're probably heading towards the end now, so 2 or 3 more at most. We're going to Xinhua and Lei Shan from Xinhua. Your question, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the opportunity. President, would you like to talk about your trip to China last month during the national games? Because China has a very big Esports fan base. Do you think China have the chance to host the Esports Olympic Games after Saudi Arabia stepped down? And the second question, this is almost the end of the year. You already took the office for 6 months. Would you like to share with us about the key progress achieved so far? Thank you.
I'm talking without the microphone, so hopefully now you can hear me. I started by saying the trip to China was a short one, but it was a fun-filled one and packed with so many incredible opportunities that we had and that I had. We very much got to come and witness the opening of the national games, truly remarkable opening, and had again a remarkable experience of getting to sit down and have a conversation with His Excellency, which I so valued, and the passion and support that he has for sport and the importance that he places on sport and the role that it has in the community was, again, really just an inspiration to be able to hear a head of state talking so highly of the impact that sport can have and the role that sport has in driving community togetherness and unity, but also development. So grateful for that. We had a wonderful couple of days with our top partners and really appreciated them taking the time to spend with us, and we appreciate those partnerships. Esports, yes, we know, and actually while we were there, I know that there was a very big esport games happening, I believe in Shanghai, and it was, or Beijing, I can't remember, I'm sorry, which city it was in, but it was very successful, so we know that there's a huge appetite, and we look forward to any conversations in the future in that regard. The last 6 months have been an incredible 6 months, a lot of really good things happening, and I think you've heard some of it today. Obviously, the focus being on Fit for the Future and all of the consultations, and I do want to take the opportunity to thank all of the stakeholders for giving us their feedback, and really the very honest feedback that we've received has been so much. So now we are in the part of the process where we're consolidating, and that's going to help drive forward potential strategies for next year. So really very happy with where the last 6 months have taken me and where they're going to lead us into the future.
And the immediate future is probably this will be the last question, I think. And we've done about 12 questions, so we've got through a lot of you. Apologies to anyone who didn't get a question, but obviously, as ever, you can write to our comms team, and we will, as always, respond. So let's go to Rachel Preti from L'Equipe. Rachel,
hello,
your
Mark.
question. Hello,
everybody. Thank you so much. I will ask my question in French because it's on French Alps, if you are okay.
Yes, we're just sorting out the infrastructure here.
Yeah, thank you. Je voulais être sûre d'avoir bien compris concernant les
I wanted to be sure I understood correctly. The decision on the sports program will be taken in June. Is that correct? And also on additional sports. And I would like to know what you thought about the team presentation and if you have a report from the COCOM that you could share with us. So what can you tell us about the French Alps after the presentation that was made? Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle. So yes, in the Milano-Cortina EB a few months ago, we were initially looking at approving, I believe, and I speak under the guidance of Pierre, the sports program, and then a proposal of potential new additional disciplines. But what we then realized and what we sat down with the OCOG and decided that we should really look at this in one package together holistically, and that was going to be easier done in June instead of doing it in bits and pieces, rather to do it with the OCOG, with the IOC, with the Fit for the Future process, and really do it all in one package, so it didn't get too messy. So we took that decision today to rather decide to take all of the decisions in and around the sport program in June. The team presentation, Edgar and Cyril, were really wonderful. We had an organizing committee meeting, and the COCOM was there last week, I believe, and we had, again, really very good feedback, very positive feedback. We obviously know that the games are fast approaching, so we were very happy with the presentation and with what was reported and where we were wanting to all go, and so really I don't have any other specific details to share with you. The conversations were very good, the presentations were very high level, the explanations were really great. The team shared with us where they are as an organizing committee and where they will try to get to in the next year with expanding the organizing committee and the focus that's going to take, and we're all in agreement on where that should go. And that we were just really here to add additional value and help wherever we can. So presentation was really very, very well done and very good. I don't know if the team has anything to add, either Christophe, Dewey, or Pierre. Nope. Christophe online, would you like to add anything, French Alps? Anything I missed? If he's still online.
Yeah.
President, as a matter of principle, you never miss anything.
Exactly. This is what I was going to say.
That must be clear. Non, la seule chose que je pourrais rapporter, c'est
I haven't got much to add, but what I can say is that the members of the COCOM, and I'm sure, Rachel, you saw that when we were on site, find it fantastic to be in the mountains. We could really feel the spirit and the excitement. And of course, after Paris 2024, this excitement is really real. But when we are in the mountains, in the French Alps, we see people that know what they're talking about, know what is to organize big events, and who are really excited about the games. And Madam Chair, what I can say is that this duo, Gros-Piron and Linette, works perfectly and is really visible in all the presentations that we hear. And we could have witnessed this yesterday. They made a 20-minute presentation. Then there were something like 20 minutes of questions and answers. They went into details and they left a very good impression.
Thank you very much, Christophe. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, President, for joining us today, and thank you to the team, also the top team at the table here and in Milan. And where you are, thank you very much. If we don't see you again, do have a break if you can have one. Otherwise, we will see you at the games very shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.